that seems to be far from over, right from the ground to the courtrooms. And what we are now looking at as far as the Supreme Court is concerned, which has now agreed to take up the urgent hearing where the TMC has now challenged the Calcutta High Court order that upheld the Election Commission's decision to deploy central government and PSU staff for counting duties. The High Court, which had earlier dismissed the TMC's plea, saying that there is no illegality in this move, rejecting the concerns that such staff would be influenced. Now, let's in the meantime talk about when it comes to the arguments that has been kept forth on part of the ruling dispensation. On the other side, when it comes to the poll body, what is the clarification that has been given on part of the Election Commission? So the TMC again has been arguing that the directive was issued without any proper authority and consultation, and that has raised apprehensions of neutrality. The Election Commission on its part has maintained that the decision is fully within the ambit of the law and has aimed at ensuring that there is a fair counting process. Now, what is being said on part of the TMC side when it comes to the Supreme Court, that is all set to hear the matter today, and just ahead of the counting that will happen on the 4th of May. And this is also coming at a time when we are looking at the repolling that has already begun on ground as far as 15 polling booths are concerned. So here are the arguments that we are talking about coming in from both sides. The TMC is charged as well because it has been saying that while central and PSU staff has been deployed on part of the government because they may be influenced, and raising concerns over the fairness of the counting, and also the timing is something which has now been questioned on part of the TMC. However, when it comes to the EC's rationale, it says that it is legal under the Representations of People Act and there is no evidence backing TMC's concerns. When it comes to the poll body, it says that it ensures that there is neutrality in the counting process and the decision that has been communicated well in advance, to which the TMC has now taken up the fight to the Supreme Court. Let's connect with Rajesh on this. Rajesh, good morning. The developments that has been taking place, of course, the matter today will be taken up in the Supreme Court as well.
Yes, absolutely. Election Commission of India has decided to appoint all those central government employees and PSU staffs in the counting center as the counting supervisor. And TMC was not agree with this decision of Election Commission, and following which TMC approached Kolkata High Court challenging this order, and TMC MP and advocate Kullan Banerjee appeared on behalf of the party at Kolkata High Court few days back, and they challenged the order passed by Election Commission and said to the court that that can't be done, that only central government employees will be deployed in the accounting center as the accounting supervisor. Kullan Banerjee approached before the court stating that state government employees also should be there, not only central government employees, because they are expecting that central government employees will be influenced by the central ruling party, following which the advocate from the Election Commission strongly opposed this application filed by TMC MP Kullan Banerjee. And after hearing both sides, Kolkata High Court has passed the direction and upheld the order and decision which was declared by the Election Commission. And following this order passed by Kolkata High Court, TMC has approached Supreme Court challenging this order, which was passed by Kolkata High Court few days back. And today the matter is likely to be heard before the Supreme Court today, which was filed by TMC before the Apex Court of India, challenging the order passed by Kolkata High Court. Back to you.
All right. So these developments are expected to be taken up at least by 10:30 in the morning as far as in the hearing in the Supreme Court is concerned on this Saturday. But with just 48 hours to go, rather less than that, as far as the counting is concerned, this legal battle is only adding to that political heat. Now, strong rooms have turned into a stage of show of strength and high drama that played outside the two of those counting centers. Prohibitory orders are now set to be in place, where outside all of those 7 strong rooms that contain the already polled EVM machines. Now, a day after the TMC, led by their leaders like Shashi Panchal and Kunal Ghosh, cited that there were certain CCTV visuals to allege that there was suspicious human activity in one of those strong rooms, the Election Commission has hit back in a point-by-point rebuttal. EC says that the strong rooms are guarded, they are sealed, and that happened in the presence of the party representatives. And if there is any movement that was seen at 4 p.m., that was actually a routine postal ballot segregation that was carried out in a separate room. And this is on per the rules that are being followed. The EC has also rejected the claims of lack of intimation, producing emails to show all of the candidates were informed well in advance.
On the cameras, on camera number 17, we noticed that there were certain people inside these strong rooms which were actually sealed by our agents.
उन्होंने हलचल देखी कि 4 बजे आसपास हलचल हो रही है। हाँ, हलचल हुई 4 बजे के आसपास। हमारे स्टाफ गए, वो खोल लेते आपका कहते हैं पोस्टल बैलेट का रूम, क्योंकि पोस्टल बैलेट का रूम का नियम है कि 4 बजे खोलेंगे।
तो वो लोग बोल रहे हैं हम भेजा है, हम मेल भेजा है, और अगर आप लोग मेल भेजा है तो घुसने क्यों नहीं दे रहा है?
सब पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को एज पर रूल इलेक्शन कमीशन का इंटीमेशन दिया गया था, कैंडिडेट्स को आरओ नहीं दिया था। आपको आना चाहिए था वहां पे आते आप जो है और आपके सामने खोला जाता है।
Postal ballots that they were doing there, postal ballots, those pink envelopes, those were being handled by of officials, but none of the political party representatives were there.
4 बजे के बाद 3 कैंडिडेट आए थे, अंदर देख लिया उन्होंने कि जो ईवीएम का था, अभी तक स्ट्रांग रूम सब बंद है, पोस्टल बैलेट का स्ट्रांग रूम इसलिए खोला गया है, उनको मेल भेजी गई थी, सब प्रूफ देख लिया, सब चले गए तीनों।
Well, on part of West Bengal, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, who herself was there, spent around 4 hours at one of those EVM strong rooms in her Bhamanipur constituency, and emerging from the premises only past midnight, she warned against any attempts to tamper with the counting process and warning for a fight for life and death.
अगर ऐसा ईवीएम मशीन को लूट करने के लिए, अगर काउंटिंग लूट करने के लिए कोई कोशिश करे तो हम जिंदगी मौत एक करके हम लड़ेंगे। और हम सब कैंडिडेट, सब चीफ इलेक्शन एजेंट को, जितना भी पार्टी है, सबको बोलते हैं आपका हक है, आप देखभाल कीजिए।
Well, let's in the meantime get you this another breaking update. What we are now learning as far as the repolling is now concerned, we'll be getting you the live updates because this is on the account of certain malpractices that the EC has decided that it has been necessitated to conduct a repolling there in at least 15 of the booths. Because 15 of those booths in 2 different constituencies, the repolling that began at 7 in the morning, so it's already an hour into the repolling, and there have been several allegations of malpractices that has been cited on part of the observers and the returning officers, to which the EC has taken cognizance and has decided that there is going to be repolling. Both of these areas that went to polls in the second phase of polling of West Bengal that happened on the 29th of April. So we'll be connecting with our reporters there on ground to get you as far as the on-ground situation is concerned. But in the meantime, this has now been said on part of the Election Commission that it has been necessitated because there were allegations that has been raised on part of the BJP as well. They have been talking about certain allegations of EVMs being tampered with, the party election symbol being taped or covered with ink. So let's in the meantime get you this understanding of what has been in the fray as far as the contentions that are now coming in when it comes to these 2 areas. So Magrahat Paschim, what we are now looking at as far as the candidates here are concerned, and both of them are said to be, when it comes to these areas, strongholds of the TMC. So in Magrahat Paschim, we are looking at 11 booths. The repolling that has been taking place in Diamond Harbour, we are looking at 4 of these booths where the repolling has continued, and this is already an hour into the repolling that began at 11 in this morning. So let's connect with Shivam on this. Shivam has been following up as far as Magrahat Paschim is concerned. 11 of the booths there, repolling that has been taking place. We have Rajesh as well joining us. But Shivam, ground situation. Do you believe that there is a difference? Are people aware as far as on the days when the polling was happening on the 29th of April and today when the repolling is happening?
Well, exactly, Amita, and certainly you can feel with the level of crowd that is basically coming in from behind me. We are just outside the 3 booths out of the 11. 3 booths are in this particular school where we are currently present, and I would urge my camera person to show you the long queue. You can see it's not just one side, there are 2 sides of this long queue currently in this particular area of the Magrahat West, where we are currently reporting from. Again, what we've been given to understand that when the information came last night, the official order came last night, the DROs, the ROs also informed, but it is also on the political parties. Their agents have the major role to play to make sure that each and every vote that they count in their favor also come to the booth. All the voters come to the booth and they cast the vote. And still you can see in the morning, this is the current situation here. Almost 2600, 2700 total votes in these 3 booths. And so far in the morning, it seems like people are here with the umbrella because it's too, the heat is quite high today. The temperature is high. It was raining for the last 2 days, but today again the mercury has raised, but still people are with their umbrellas. People have trying to cover their face, but what they are not choosing to is not to vote. They are coming here. There are female, queues on a different level where they can go and vote. There's heavy CRPF deployment outside as well. We showed you earlier as well that there is heavy CRPF deployment at this particular area as well. This is majorly the rural area, so again communication and finding places is a little difficult. But again, since last night, when it comes to the election commission, their officers, their assigned BLOs are also on the field. They were there. We've been given to understand when we had a word with the locals that the BLOs also reached to them, and also the party agents, because they are also the main people who make sure that each and every voter that they feel it is in their favor also cast the vote. And we'll also try and have a word with certain individuals who have come here. Sir, आप यहाँ पर वोट करने आए हैं, आपके इधर आसपास ही रहते हैं, कहाँ रहते हैं?
हाँ, नहीं, मेरा बगल में घर है।
क्या नाम है सर आपका?
मेरा सबरी शेख।
सबरी जी, दोबारा जैसे पोलिंग हो रही है, आपको क्या लग रहा है, पिछली बार से ज्यादा है या पिछली बार ज्यादा हुई थी, इस बार कम है, क्या हो रहा है?
नहीं, सब ठीक है, किंतु अगले बार जो हुआ था वो सब ठीक था।
अच्छा,
अभी जो हो रहा है वो गलत हो रहा है।
अच्छा, आपको लग रहा है कि पिछली बार ठीक हुआ था, कोई दिक्कत नहीं थी?
नहीं, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, कोई झगड़ा नहीं, कोई कुछ नहीं, शांति से सब वोट हुआ था।
तो कैसे पता लगा आपको, रात को किन्होंने आके बताया कि दोबारा पोलिंग है? आप लोगों को कैसे पता लगा इन चीज़ों?
हम लोग को 4:30-5 बजे खबर मिला जो दोबारा वोट होगा। फिर हम लोग का काम बंद हो गया। आज शनिचर का दिन आ गया, पेमेंट का दिन है, हम लोग पेमेंट नहीं मिलेगा, हम लोग का संगठन में तकलीफ होगा।
ठीक है, बट आप फिर भी उसके बावजूद वोट करने आए और यहाँ पे काफी लोग वोट करने आए हैं।
हाँ,
आपके लिए क्या मुद्दे होते हैं सर, किसी नौकरी या क्या हेल्थ, क्या मुद्दे हैं?
नहीं, हम लोग तो रोज का काम करता है, हम लोग को रोज का काम करता है, रोज पैसा मिलता, उसी से हम लोग चलता है।
So you see people are also saying that they are this personal opinion that earlier it was fine, but again they don't know why it is happening. But still, despite having the trouble, they are coming here and they are voting in large numbers. So for now, you can see positive response coming in from here. No response of any chaos.
Any journalists, of course, as far as today's day is concerned, they are coming out to cast their vote once again. But again, when it comes to the awareness of ground is something that is actually required as to why people should be known or should be aware as to why the repolling is taking place. Because let's talk about, interestingly, both of these constituencies are said to be strong bastions of the TMC altogether. And this is what is being said as to why elections are being very, very closely watched like a hawk, literally. So what is being said, Magrahat Paschim, the seat that was won by the TMC in last 3 elections, the BJT TMC repeating their 2021 candidates. And when we speak about Diamond Harbour, the seat that was won by the TMC again in the last 3 elections, and it falls in the seat of the parliamentary seat of Abhishek Banerjee. Now, in the meantime, let's also talk about the Election Commission of India, which has announced this repolling, why it was necessitated, and following complaints of certain irregularities. Let's listen into the West Bengal CEO.
It was found out that some tape had been put on the names of some of the candidates in the EVM. Some scent was put against some buttons in the EVM. And in some places, intimidation had taken place in the hinterland, whereby some voters had been prevented from casting their votes. Based on all these things, the General Observer for the state, he gave a report to the ECI that he feels that 4 booths in Diamond Harbour Assembly seat and 11 booths in Magrahat West Assembly seat require a repoll.
So let's talk about Team Mamata Banerjee, which has now inserted a certain Gujarati angle in Bengal elections, where the TMC chief has alleged that a man from Gujarat had joined BJP workers protesting near the Trinamool Congress convoy. While showing a purported video on her phone, she has been claiming that he's not a local. There is Saugata Roy also adding that there is a certain outsider interference.
पता नहीं क्या करने चाहते हैं. Obviously, कुछ लोग काउंटिंग प्रोसेस को टेम्पर करने चाहते हैं, इसलिए ये सब हुआ. हम ये भी देखा कि शेखावत मेमोरियल गर्ल्स स्कूल, जहां मुख्यमंत्री का कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी का काउंटिंग होगा, वहां कुछ गुजरात से आए हुए लोग बाहर में स्लोगन उठा रहे हैं.
Now, as far as elections are concerned, let's also talk about in the areas where polling has happened, and that is in Tamil Nadu. There are cracks that now seems to be visible again as far as the DMK Congress alliance is out. And of course, when it comes to the exit poll projections, which seems to be giving the DMK the edge. But what was once said to be a subtle friction is now turning into a clear political signaling. Tensions that have been rising ever since the Congress stepped up its demand, seeking a bigger role in the the government formation, including the last 2 cabinet berths. And there has been a lot of unease already that seems to be evident during the seat sharing talks. But development since then has come to a point of a widening gap, and the optics that worsened when Rahul Gandhi skipped publicly wishing M.K. Stalin on his birthday, fueling speculation of a political Cold War. There was also no campaign from Rahul Gandhi along with the Chief Minister. Neither the DMK shared stage with the Congress leaders. So sources are now indicating that the DMK is actively exploring other options beyond the Congress, including the possibility of a broader secular federal front with leaders like Arvind Kejriwal, Mamata Banerjee and Jagan Mohan Reddy. Now, with most of the projections pointing to a fractured mandate in Tamil Nadu, DMK, however, still it could find itself needing a post-poll support. That in turn can put the Congress in a strong bargaining position where it can potentially push for a cabinet berth in exchange for backing the DMK. Now, with just days ahead as far as when we're looking at the election results, whether this is just a temporary drama or a leverage for a long-term breakup or a reset, let's understand this, where this alliance actually stands of today, because this is something where Congress party has been saying that it is no longer a neutral partner in this alliance, but seat sharing and political, when it comes to sharing of seats and power is something that the DMK is not ready to give into the Congress's demands. So let's in the meantime talk about the chronology. 1971 is when it comes to the alliance that has been forming between the DMK, but when it comes to the alliance that happened for the Lok Sabha and the Assembly polls, and that is when they fought together. Then in 2004, there has been a massive sweep as far as DMK and the Congress party. They reunited, DMK winning on all fronts as far as when it comes to the seats that has been taken on part of the Congress were around 10. Then in 2009, there was another success, especially when it comes to the joint front that was put up by both of the parties, winning at least 28 Lok Sabha seats, Congress winning 9 of the 16 seats. And then happened a breakup that happened in 2013 when it comes to the DMK quitting the UPA alliance. And then 2016 again, there have been again failures and coming back. So this is something, Imran, good morning. Help us understand when we talk about the DMK and the Congress. Within the Congress, there are feelers and there are certain party leaders who have been quite vocal, and they are now wanting a bigger share as far as if the DMK forms the government again in Tamil Nadu.
Well, absolutely. In fact, when this for this election too, the Congress wanted not just to be alliance partner, but they wanted to have a share in the government. They wanted to be part of the government. In fact, there were sources within the Congress and also DMK inform us that 2 seats, 2 cabinet posts, they had demanded that to be part of this alliance, but it was turned on categorically by the DMK. And also there was a friction over the sharing of seats where the Congress wanted larger seats, but they had to settle for 18. And this was taken as personally insult by the Congress. And the where this got upset DMK more is when Rahul Gandhi didn't wish Stalin on his birthday. DMK understood as a clear signal of Congress not happy with DMK, and that further intensified. Even we got sources that before in fact, certain leaders within the Congress wanted this alliance to break and go with TVK, but TVK didn't ally with them. Otherwise, it would have happened before this election itself. Congress breaking up from DMK and going towards TVK for alliance. In fact, there were leaders within Congress who had sent that feelers to Vijay, but Vijay was not willing to have any alliance till.
Well, we don't know if post-poll alliances would be the key, because that remains to be seen if any party actually has a simple majority in forming the government in Tamil Nadu. Thank you, Imran, for that update. But amid the growing speculations of a possible DMK-Congress split, the BJP, however, has launched a fresh attack on the opposition front. Shahzad Poonawalla of the BJP claims that the opposition bloc is driven by confusion and division.
India Alliance has no mission, no vision, only confusion, division, ambition for position. After the exit polls, now the exact reality is coming out, where DMK is also contemplating dumping Congress party. Actually, the voters have dumped Congress party in Assam, in Bengal, in Tamil Nadu, in Kerala also. People overall are dumping Rahul Gandhi, and India Alliance is dumping Congress. It is a tukde alliance because they all came together not on mission or vision or some ideology or niti or neta or niyat. It is actually a no confidence against Rahul Gandhi, because they all came together for opportunistic reasons, but now they don't want to stay together. And therefore, little by little, India Alliance is breaking into pieces.